How would I sum up this draft? Perfect. Dallas still stinks. You're by the way, King Dingbat here, and what a weekend we just had. What a draft that just happened. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. We gotta talk about it all because the Eagles went off. One of the greatest drafts I can remember the Eagles ever having, and I gotta tell you guys my thoughts. It feels like it's been forever since I've done a regular video. We've been streaming so much, but I want to thank each and every one of you guys for joining me. And before we get into this, though, a quick word from our sponsor. Listen, when it comes to watching sports, when it comes to betting sports, there are two ways you could go about it. You could do it the Eagles analytic department way, where they're in a basement in a cold, dark room somewhere, crunching numbers that they don't even know what it means. Or you could do it the Philly 500 way, where you're constantly entertained and enjoy every moment of the process. This is why I start my day by going to thegameday.com, where they add excitement to live sports with a constant influx of sports entertainment and sports betting content, which includes best bets, picks, previews, predictions. You know I love predictions, the ride-along series, and much more. The Game Day makes betting entertaining as well as watching sports in general. And they use their partnership with major sportsbook operators to bring consumers competitive promotions. So click the link in the description and go to thegameday.com. Check it out for yourself. I promise you, you are going to love everything here, and you are going to be entertained, and you are going to get the knowledge you need to make the bets that you need to make. And let them know when you're there. Philly 500 sent you. Thank you to thegameday.com for sponsoring this video. Click the link in the description and go check them out. Also, make sure if you're new to the channel, make sure you like, make sure you subscribe for Eagles content, daily football content. There's a lot of stuff that still has to happen. We got a lot of work to do. And if you've been subscribed for a while, just double check, double moonwalk check that you're still subscribed. Now, this draft was unbelievable. But before we get into the picks and the players, I'm going to talk about what the Eagles still need to do real quick, okay? And I'll have videos on this and stuff. One of the things that was not addressed in this draft was the defensive back situation, the secondary, right? You still need a safety, and you obviously need a cornerback. So I think that the Eagles are definitely going to address this in the upcoming days, month, whatever, in free agency. And I'm on Honey Badger watch because I think there's a very good chance that he is going to end up in Philly. Now, as far as the draft went, to me, when you look at this draft, I don't remember a time where I felt the Eagles have come away with a better draft than they have here. I mean, they've hit on picks here and there, but this draft, the way I look at it, I think they came away with 4 starters who could be perennial all-pro type players, okay? They have that kind of upside. So let's jump right into it. Day 1, pick 13. The Eagles trade up, which is exactly what I did in my mock draft, by the way. I don't just look like Denzel Washington, but I got a brain. Sometimes I get it right, sometimes I get it wrong. But I had the Eagles trading up to 13 to jump Baltimore to get Jordan Davis. That's exactly what they did. They trade up to 13 and they draft defensive tackle Jordan Davis. This is the pick that I would have made, and yes, I would have taken him over Kyle Hamilton. The reason why is we Eagle fans know what's important for the Eagles. The Eagles believe that you build inwards out. So you build from the inside out. And it's got to start with the offensive defensive line, that interior. And with Fletcher Cox perhaps leaving after this year, Hargrave possibly leaving after this year, you need defensive tackles. And I know some people are like, well, Jordan Davis is not going to start this year. He doesn't have to start this year. He's going to get to learn behind Fletcher Cox. He's still going to play a lot. He's still going to be in that rotation. You're going to see Jordan Davis on that field a lot. But I think that with his potential, with his upside, with his size, I think this is an A+++ pick. This is a A-plus pick. Perfect pick, okay? I think he's a perennial all-pro type player. Now, I think he's got to get better at taking care of himself, being in better shape. I think he should go down to about 330, but there's plenty of time to talk about things like that. But I thought that was a tremendous pick, a great quality pick, and I actually was a little shocked that people didn't like it. The second pick, which the Eagles had the 18th pick, and I consider this a pick, was a trade. This was the big trade, the big move. Who do I know? Who was it out there on YouTube talking every day that the Eagles need to call the Titans, the Seattle Seahawks, and the 49ers about getting a veteran wide receiver? Who was it? It was this guy. And the Eagles did exactly what I thought they should do. Trade, try to get, A.J. Brown, Deebo Samuel, DK Metcalf. I said it 1,000 times. Try to get one of those guys. Call every team, make an offer. This is what the Eagles did. The Eagles offered the 18th pick and a third-round pick to the 49ers for Deebo Samuel. The 49ers turned it down. The Titans did not turn it down. And the Eagles trade for A.J. Brown. A.J. Brown, if he was in this draft, would have been the best player in the draft. Okay? He would have been the best player. And no, this is not a one-year fix. It has ramifications for this upcoming year, but this was not a one-year fix. This was a long-term signing to build this team around. A.J. Brown is 24 years old. Okay? A.J. Brown is a stud. Okay? And with A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith, and I'm gonna do a separate video on this whole A.J. Brown thing because I got a lot of stuff to say about this. But I think the Eagles arguably have the best receiving core. Well, not arguably. They do have the best receiving core in the division now. No question about it. And like I said, we're going to talk about this because as soon as this happened, I guess Jalen Reagor got mad. Apparently, he's removed stuff from his Instagram. And now reports are coming in that he has been told that he can seek a trade. Who the hell wants him? Who knows? But he's going to seek a trade, and I think he's out. And like I said, I'll have a separate video coming on that because it's just so much to talk about with the ramifications of A.J. Brown and what it means to the Eagles. But this was an A+++ move itself because it was something that I had been pushing all season. And it was something that was very smart, not just from getting a talent now for this year and a couple years, but from a financial standpoint, and I'll get into it in the other video. So day one, A+, okay? Now, round two comes. And round two, we're seeing guys like Nakobe Dean fall, Booth Jr. There are guys falling. And it was funny because during the day, I was talking to Joey Shake. Shout out to him. Thank you to him for streaming with me for the last 3 days. And thank you to all of you guys who joined us in the streams. The streams were epic. They were huge. They were big. They were crazy. And I just want to say thank you from the bottom of my heart for hanging with me, man. It really means a lot. But I was talking to him during the day, and we were talking about what the Eagles could do in the second round. And I said, dude, don't be surprised if they go for a center. It could happen. Could happen. And if it does, and it makes sense, it's the right guy, I'm okay with it. So, with the second round pick, the Eagles take center Cam Jurgens. Now, when they did this, I didn't think it was one of those, like, get up and start cheering picks. But we were like, yeah, good pick. Okay, good pick. I love the pick. I thought it was a great pick. A lot of people disagree with me, which is fine. But I thought it was a great pick. Why? Because if you had read reports earlier leading up to draft, if Jurgens got to the Eagles, they were going to take him. There were reports that this was the case. Some people think he's the best offensive lineman, the best center in the draft. Some say he's the third best center. But one guy that thought he was important was Jason Kelsey. Now, Jason Kelsey is going to probably play one more year and go. And he's going to take this kid in as an understudy. You also have Stoutland to help develop this kid. And I thought this was a very, very, very genius pick. I love this pick. I give this pick a solid A. Okay? Now, the one issue with the pick argument you can make was that, dude, Nakobe Dean is on the board. He is on the board. What the hell is he on the board for? And Shouldn't we just took him? But here's what happened. The third round came, and Nakobe Dean was still on the board. He was still on the board, and the reasons were supposedly he had a chest pectoral issue or something, and teams thought he should get surgery. He didn't want to. He said it was a strain. Some other people said there were all other things. It's like, to try to figure out what happened makes no sense. The Eagles, with the third round pick, didn't care about all that crap. They took Nakobe Dean, and they got the steal of the draft, maybe the steal of the draft in the history of the drafts. It was that big of a deal. It's a huge steal for the Eagles. And in my opinion, at this point, with Jordan Davis, A.J. Brown, Jurgens, and then Nakobe Dean, draft is done. Get a cigar, go smoke a stogie, you know what I mean? Which I will be doing a victory cigar, most likely tomorrow, over the Eagles' great draft. As far as I'm concerned, we won this draft. So, to me, the Nakobe Dean pick was so amazing and such a steal that I just think it made everything. And here's the thing, you know. In his press conference, and what the Eagles said, he doesn't need surgery. He's not going to miss any time. He's going to be at rookie minicamp. So the kid's fine. So what happened? The only thing I can think of is somebody was trying to get this kid to fall, put out a lot of false information. A lot of false information so he would fall to them so they could get him. Howie Vision. The Howie multiverse of madness. I'm not saying it was him that did it, but somebody did it, and he fell to them. I don't know who did it. I don't think Howie did it, obviously, but I'm just joking around. But somehow he fell, and it just doesn't make sense. If you listen to what he says, you listen to what people say, makes no sense. Eagles get the steal of the draft with this pick, okay? Now, their next pick, which was earlier today, a 6th round pick, because they trade out of the 5th round, was a very interesting pick. Kyren Johnson, edge rusher from I believe it was Kansas, right? I want to say Kansas, but I didn't know anything about this kid. I think he's 6'1", 230 pounds, runs a 4.37. When you look at his Senior Bowl tape and him working out, he was tearing it up. This is a dude with a ton of athletic ability, a ton of it. And I see him being a guy that would be in a similar role to Hassan Reddick, but with ton of talent, dude. A ton of talent. This guy could be a huge steal if he can develop. And, when you're in the 6th round, get the guys with the most talent, most upside that you could possibly develop and do it. So the Kyren Johnson pick, A+. And I forgot to say, Nakobe Dean pick, A+++ to infinity. Okay? Now, with the last pick, and let me say this about the Kyren Johnson pick. They traded up to get him. They had traded out of the 5th round, got 2 6. Then they traded one of their 6th round picks and a 7th to go up and get him. So they obviously thought this kid was extremely talented. Okay? Then with the 7th round pick. Okay? Hey, listen. This is an interesting pick. I knew nothing about this guy either. Tight end Grant, what the heck? Calcaterra. I think it's Calcaterra. I don't know what his name is, but he's a cannoli eating gabagool eating paisan, I think. So I love him, I guess. But he's a tight end who I just finished watching a little tape of, and I'm blown away. I'm blown away with his athleticism, his hands. This kid has some talent. Now, he left school, he left Oklahoma because of concussion problems. He took some time off, came back to school, and he's got a lot of talent. So this could be one of those diamonds in the rough. If this kid doesn't take time off school, if he kept playing and he didn't have concussions, how good could he have been? Would he be in the NFL today? That's the question we have to figure out. But this could be another steal, and I like the philosophy. You see, I'm so proud. I'm so proud of Howie Roseman. I'm so proud of him. I am. When Howie does something I don't like, I say it. But when he does stuff that's good, I try to be honest and say he does. I love the way the guy trades. I love the way he does those things. This draft was a perfect draft. It was a perfect draft. It was a great draft. It was the right draft, and he picked all the right players. I have no issues with anything. I give the Eagles an A++++, however many, for this draft. I believe that the Eagles will have 4 possible Pro Bowlers come out of this draft. At least 4 starters within the next 2 years starting. And you got at least, there's talks now that Jurgens could play right guard next year. So Jordan Davis is going to play. Nakobe Dean is going to play. Jurgens is probably going to play. A.J. Brown is going to play. You're getting 4 starters out of this draft. How can anybody not like it? We're going to talk about each individual player, and we got a lot to talk about, especially with the division. But Eagles are the best team in this division, and it's not even close. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section. With that said, take care. Talk to you later, and of course, don't forget, it's Howie Vision. We're all just living in it, and it ain't so bad. I don't know if I said this enough. I am so proud of Howie Roseman. I am so proud of him. He did the right thing. He did the right thing for Jalen Hurts. You say we believe in Jalen Hurts, he's the guy. Well, they actually backed it up. And now Jalen Hurts has his best chance to succeed. And that's what I want for him. I want Jalen Hurts to go out and throw 40 touchdowns. Go 40 touchdowns, be the MVP, kill it, man. Because if you have your franchise quarterback, if he can be the guy, and we can all know that he's the guy, then guess what? Now you've got those 2 first-round picks next year to use on things that you want to. Howie did the right thing. I have no complaints. I have no issues. And if Howie does one more really good draft, I am going to have the slate clean. I will do an apology video. I'll do whatever I have because Howie Roseman had killed it. He killed this draft, and I'm so proud of Howie. Howie, if you're out there, I'm proud of you. You did a hell of a job. Denzel Washington, out.